After having some days to think about it, maybe Go is not really a character I like.
じゃあさ、ついでに俺とも友達になってくれ。
Oh, who am I kidding? Of course we can be friends.
Pokemon Ranger, I choose you!
What's up, mighty boys and girls, it's Ranger Boy here, and welcome to another review of Pokemon the Anime 2019. Last week we have seen the good parts of a relationship, but what if there's trouble in paradise? Well, that's what we are going to find out with episode 3, Ivysaur, Isn't It Mysterious? Oh my god. A fight between boyfriend and, girlfriend? How's that? Well, if you want to know more, if you want to know my opinion, then grab some popcorn, grab some cookies, and let's do this! Last week we have seen Ash being immune to Pikachu's electric wake-up call. But I guess he basically is immune to everything, since not even Mr. Mime could properly wake him up. You know, because Ash. And after enjoying some breakfast with everyone besides Koharu, because that girl is more interested in school rather than being a main protagonist, I wonder if she would enjoy the Sun and Moon school. I don't really think so. We get a quick introduction of Sakura's assistants, Renji, Bankai, and Kikuna, aka she's low-key kinda hot. No? Okay, I will leave now. Soon our two boys are witnessing the news about a Bulbasaur/Ivysaur outbreak, and so their very first mission as research fellows begins. To investigate the reason for this outbreak, while also gathering information for their research. But how do you gather information? In the past, Ash would have used this freaking guy. But nowadays, our forever 10-year-old boy has to go with the times. So, smartphones! Meanwhile, there are other people who, instead of going with the times, they tend to revert back to the past, which is exactly what Team Rocket does. Instead of being the goofballs from the last few years, they kinda seem to revert back to their beginnings, or to the black and white version of Team Rocket, which in my opinion is still the best version of Team Rocket. With them being all serious, having this aura of competence surrounding them, and even Giovanni seemingly relying on them as well. Nice! But let's pay our attention to our main gang, minus Koharu, arriving at the main location, while also receiving some first information thanks to Officer Jenny, about not only the wild Pokemon, but also about Team Rocket, with especially Go not wanting to believe the rumor of our dorky villains having a speaking Meowth in their team. Oh my trap boy, you have no idea. By the way, am I the only one who kinda finds the Pokédex phone, a bit too energetic? Just listen to this.
太陽の光を浴びるほど体に力が湧いて背中のつぼみが育っていく
It's like one of those TV hosts reading their lines while also trying to stay in character. But hey, everything is better than Rotom decks. Speaking of something which can cause some major headaches, Ash and Go encounter a lonely Ivysaur trying to headbutt its way through a brick wall. Lol. And thanks to this situation, we get, in my opinion, the most interesting part of the episode. While Ash wants to help the Pokemon in his typical Ash manner, Go highly disagrees with Ash's decision. He claims that Ash's desire to help Pokemon is just based on human delusion, and that instead they should concentrate on their main mission. Although Ash doesn't understand his attitude at all, Go further explains that if a Pokemon can't deal with things on its own, it's the end of the line for that Pokemon. What the fuck? And that if Ash would intervene, he would rob the Pokemon its integrity and will to live. The double fuck? Wow, I thought this was Pokemon and not my last philosophy class in college. And even after Ash got tackled by Ivysaur, which kinda proved Go's point, Ash still is annoyed by him, and therefore Go implies that he sorta regretted offering his friendship to Ash. Ash replies in the only way he knows by saying, if that's the case, then I don't want to be your friend. Which not only makes Go really sad, but also his statement implies that this wasn't the first time he got rejected like that. So now both boys go their own way, while also following the Pokemon who's letting out some sweet scent, indicating an incoming evolution. And soon they quickly arrive at a Pokemon gym being in construction, witnessing a lot of sad Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, which unlike Ash, Go can't really comprehend. Our heroes find out that this place used to be a place where the wild Pokemon gather sunlight, but since they want that sunlight so badly, they all climb up that high building. So naturally, Ash and Go try to follow them. But unlike Ash, Go isn't really the sporty kind of guy. But since one of Ash's main traits is to help everyone, no matter what, he helps his friend, and sooner than later, they support each other. Finally, at the top of the building, Go still questions the actions of the Pokemon. So, to understand them better, Ash does what Ash really likes to do, trying to understand the Pokemon by imitating them. Remember the last time we had Ash doing that? We had this. But even though this method isn't as cringy as Ash's Alolan method, Go really does hesitate a lot. But at the end of the day, you have to embrace the cringe. But before witnessing an evolution right before their eyes, Team Rocket appears, complete with new attitude and even a newly animated intro, which really made them look like badasses. Even though Go only seems to care about the talking Meowth. It seems like that with new attitude also comes more faith of Giovanni, because he quickly sends out a vending machine containing some strong Pokemon like Gyarados and Tyranitar. And even though Pikachu is doing his best, he gets easily overpowered by those two Pokemon. But suddenly, the wild grass-type Pokemon interfere, which angers Team Rocket even more, resulting in a double Hyper Beam. No need to worry, my friends, because Ash to the rescue, who protects the Pokemon while at the same time impressing our Trap Boy a lot. And with the power of friendship and plot armor, Pikachu suddenly overpowers two Hyper Beams with a single Thunderbolt, resulting in not only Team Rocket blasting off again, I kinda miss Beware, but also basically reverting back to their old selves, because they once again want to chase down Pikachu. The Pokemon evolve, they spread around their pollens, Ash and Go present their research. After that, Go is all like, "Can we be friends?" And Ash is all like, "What are you talking about? We are already friends," which caused Go to blush hard, Serena style, and me causing to say, "I totally ship this!" And the episode ends with sassy Koharu about the pollens causing all the flowers to bloom and therefore more cleaning during school, while Ash and Go laugh at her situation while also being excited for the next adventure. Oh wow, what an unexpectedly long review. So with that being said, my impressions. The story in itself was not really that special, and if you only have read the title of the episode, you would assume that it's filler. But what once again made this week's episode outstanding was the display of Go's character. In episode 1, they did that through the past. In episode 2, they did that by showcasing his overall passion for Pokemon and what he has in common with Ash. But in episode 3, they did the direct opposite, by showing what makes him different from Ash, and what his philosophy is towards not only Pokemon, but more so towards life as a whole. That he went through life on his own with nobody helping him, and that relying on someone means weakness to him, and that if you can't do things on your own, he basically said that your life is not worth living if you can't handle business on your own. And instead of basing your judgment on emotions, you should base them on facts instead. I mean, we all kinda knew that Go is a stark contrast to Ash, who is the more emotional guy and relies on his friends to move forward. But to have such a gap of different opinions and ideologies between them, jeez, whenever I think Go can't get more interesting, he gets more interesting every time. I love this guy. So the next point is not really a general opinion or something I watched from other reviewers, but this is actually my opinion and therefore my interpretation. So no need to take it too seriously. But anyway, I could be wrong, but in my humble opinion, Ash and Go represent the Pokemon fanbase as a whole right now. On the one hand, we have Ash, who represents the younger viewers, aka the kids, or people who prefer feelings over analysis, people who in general want to witness the world on the more positive side, and people who prefer action before thinking. On the other side of the coin, we have Go, who represents the more mature side of the fanbase, aka people who love to analyze, even to the point of nitpicking, people who want to fact check before taking any action, and just in general, the more cautious and more doubtful side of the community. In a sense, this sorta reminds me of the whole Dexit controversy, where on the one hand we have people who don't really care about details and just want to have fun, but on the other hand we have people who prefer to criticize the product. But no matter what your opinion is, the optimal solution would and should be that both sides see the perspective of one another, and based on similarities and agreements, they come to a conclusion that pleases both parties, which sadly leads to one of the points I didn't like about this episode. Right here we have Go, who later on is more open to Ash's way of thinking, and in the end he accepts it and learns something new from him. But what about Ash? Sure, I'm not expecting Ash to totally change his attitude to a more critical point of view, because if that would happen, that wouldn't be our Ash. Maybe it's just me, but I was kinda hoping for Ash to also understand Go's point of view as well, and based on that understanding, he will be open to see new things and learn new things, while at the same time keeping his own conviction. Unfortunately, this episode was more of Ash not really trying to understand Go's way of life, and instead he was more like, I'm right, you're wrong, and I will convince you that my way is right. But only because Ash is stubborn now doesn't mean that he can't learn new things later on, and I think the whole hinting of Go's experience with other people could trigger that. I really wish that after Ash finds out more about Go, I mean, the first thing he will do is, of course, he will help him handling the past, but I also want Ash to understand him as well, and maybe open a way of thinking for Ash that he never considered before. This next step for Ash could also confirm what Rika Matsumoto was hinting in an interview in regards of Ash in Gen 8, that he will take a step to the next level and he will mature a little bit. And for the future, I really do believe that Go is the key for Ash to reach that next step. But enough of Ash and Go. I mean, really, enough of them. The next thing I have my issues with is Team Rocket. I loved how the anime has displayed them at the beginning. No jokes, no overly excessive comedy, but instead, right from the get-go, they were oozing out competence and professionalism. and I really thought to myself, damn, this could be like the black and white version of Team Rocket at the beginning. But then after getting blasted off again, they kinda reverted back to their old ways with the goal to catch Pikachu. I know that aiming for Pikachu doesn't automatically mean back to comedy, but I really do hope that this isn't the end of the more serious Team Rocket, especially since we had so much comedy in the last season. But in this case, only time will tell, and well, let's hope that I will be proven wrong. But once again, a great episode and even more unbelievable characterization for Go. And honestly, I can't wait for more. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed my rather long review. Really sorry for the long review, but man, this episode really was packed full with, you know, stuff you can like interpret it in so many ways. But anyway, what is your opinion on the episode? Tell me, just like always. I'll see you guys in the comments down below.